Most people think WD-40 is just for squeaky hinges or stuck drawers, but this simple spray saves drivers thousands if you know how to use it. Rust, corrosion, and moisture are always eating away at your vehicle while you're focused on oil changes and tire rotations. But here's something that might surprise you. A single can of WD-40, which costs less than a fast food meal, can prevent thousands of dollars in repair bills. We're not talking about temporary fixes or band-aid solutions. These are legitimate maintenance techniques that professional mechanics use every single day. So here are 15 game-changing hacks that will transform how you care for your vehicle. Let's get started. Hack 15. Fixing flooded engines. Water is every engine's worst nightmare. When moisture sips into your ignition system during heavy rain or after driving through deep puddles, it can cause misfires, rough idling, or complete failure to start. This happens because water interferes with the electrical spark needed to ignite fuel in your cylinders. The WD in WD-40 actually stands for water displacement, and that's exactly what makes it perfect for this emergency. When your engine refuses to start after exposure to water, spray WD-40 directly onto your ignition distributor and spark plug wires with the engine completely off. The formula pushes water out while creating a protective barrier that prevents future moisture problems. For carbureted engines that are truly flooded with excess fuel and water, a careful spray into the carburetor can help restore normal function. This simple action can save you hundreds in towing fees and diagnostic charges, which typically run between $500 and $1,500 when you call for professional help. The best part is that WD-40 works within minutes, getting you back on the road without waiting for a mechanic. But what if the damage goes deeper than just surface moisture? Because there's another component that water can destroy even faster. Hack 14. Stopping corrosion before it kills your battery. Your car battery might look fine on the outside, but corrosion building up on the terminals is silently killing its performance. That crusty, colored buildup you see in brown, blue, or green isn't just ugly. It's actually blocking the flow of electricity between your battery and the rest of your vehicle's electrical system. When this happens, your battery can't charge properly, your alternator works overtime, and eventually your car won't start at the worst possible moment. A typical battery replacement costs between $200 and $400, but most people don't realize that corrosion often kills batteries before their time. The solution is surprisingly simple. Use WD-40 Specialist Contact Cleaner, which is specifically designed for electrical components, along with a wire brush to scrub away the buildup. First, disconnect your battery cables starting with the negative terminal. Spray the contact cleaner generously on both terminals and use the wire brush to remove all visible corrosion. Wipe everything clean with a cloth, then reconnect the cables tightly. For ongoing protection, apply a light coat of regular WD-40 around the terminals after cleaning to prevent moisture from causing new corrosion. Just make sure you're working in a well-ventilated area because WD-40 is flammable. Never believe the old myth about using cola or baking soda. Those substances can leak into your battery casing and cause internal damage that ruins the entire unit. Clean terminals mean better starts, longer battery life, and more reliable electrical performance. Now that your electrical system is protected, let's tackle another silent killer that's probably already attacking your car. Hack 13. Protecting chrome and metal parts. Rust doesn't just make your car look bad, it's actually eating through metal and compromising structural integrity. Every time your vehicle is exposed to rain, snow, or even morning dew, moisture settles onto metal surfaces and starts the oxidation process. Chrome bumpers, trim pieces, and decorative elements are particularly vulnerable because they're constantly exposed to the elements. Here's what makes this problem expensive. Once rust takes hold, it spreads underneath the surface, weakening metal that might look fine at first glance. By the time you see serious rust damage, you're often looking at hundreds or thousands of dollars in replacement parts and labor. WD-40 stops this process before it starts. For chrome pieces that are already showing signs of rust, spray WD-40 generously and let it sit for 10 full minutes. The formula penetrates the rust, breaking down the oxidation and making it easier to remove. After the waiting period, use a soft brush or cloth to gently scrub the affected areas. Rinse with water to remove the dissolved rust, Then apply another light coat of WD-40 and wipe it down to create a protective barrier. This same technique works on wheel wells, undercarriage components, exhaust tips, and any exposed metal on your vehicle. The key is consistent application, especially before winter when road salt accelerates rust formation. Metal protection is crucial, but there's one maintenance nightmare that stops more DIY repairs than anything else. Hack 12. Loosening rusted bolts and screws. Every car owner has faced this frustrating scenario. You're trying to change a part or perform basic maintenance, and a rusted bolt refuses to budge. You apply more force, the wrench slips, and suddenly you've rounded off the bolt head completely. Now what should have been a simple job requires professional extraction, often costing between $150 and $500 depending on the location and severity. Rusted fasteners are especially common on suspension components, exhaust systems, and anything under your vehicle that's exposed to road spray and moisture. WD-40's penetrating formula is specifically designed to solve this problem. Spray a generous amount directly onto the stuck bolt or screw, making sure to coat the entire threaded area. Let the WD-40 sit for at least 10 minutes so it can work its way deep into the corrosion. The formula seeps into microscopic gaps between the threads, breaking down rust and providing lubrication. After the waiting period, try your wrench or screwdriver again. You'll often feel the fastener give way much easier than before. If it's still stuck, don't force it. Apply another round of WD-40 and wait longer. This technique works on everything from engine bolts to body panel screws. Here's an insider secret. Mechanics use this exact method before telling customers that parts are seized and need special removal. With mechanical components freed up, let's move to protecting your car's exterior from some surprisingly damaging threats. Hack 11. Removing bird droppings, tar, and tree sap bird droppings aren't just unsightly. They're actively damaging your paint every minute they sit on your car. The uric acid in bird waste is highly corrosive and begins etching into your clear coat within hours, especially on hot days when the sun accelerates the chemical reaction. Tree sap poses a different problem. It hardens into a sticky, rock-hard substance that bonds to your paint surface. Tar from fresh asphalt work splashes onto your car and creates stubborn black spots that seem impossible to remove. All three of these contaminants can lead to permanent paint damage requiring professional correction or repainting, with costs typically ranging from $300 to over $1,000 depending on the affected area. The temptation is to scrub hard with abrasive materials, but that's exactly what creates scratches and swirl marks. WD-40 offers a gentler solution that lets chemistry do the work instead of brute force. Spray WD-40 directly on the spot and wait a few minutes for it to break down the compounds, then wipe gently with a clean microfiber cloth and the mess lifts away without scrubbing. Always wash the area with car soap afterward to remove any oily residue and restore your paint's shine. Your paint might be protected, but winter brings an entirely different set of challenges that can leave you stranded at the gas station. Hack 10. Preventing frozen fuel caps. It's below freezing, you need gas, and your fuel cap is completely frozen shut. You twist and pull, but it won't budge. Force it too hard and you risk breaking the locking mechanism or cracking the cap itself, leading to a repair bill between $100 and $300. This happens because moisture gets into the threads and rubber seal of your fuel cap, then freezes solid when temperatures drop. The cap essentially becomes welded shut by ice. Many drivers don't think about this problem until they're stranded at a gas pump in freezing weather. The preventive solution is remarkably simple. Before winter hits, spray WD-40 around all the rubber seals of your fuel cap and work it into the threads. The formula creates a thin, slippery barrier that prevents moisture from settling into the small gaps where ice forms. This moisture-repelling layer means that even in sub-zero temperatures, your cap will twist open normally without requiring any force. Apply this treatment every few months throughout winter, especially after car washes when extra moisture might be present around the fuel door area. Now let's talk about one of the most disgusting maintenance tasks that WD-40 makes surprisingly easy. Hack 9. Cleaning grills and windshields. Long road trips inevitably end with your front bumper, grill, and windshield covered in dried bug remains. These aren't just cosmetic issues. Bug splatter contains acids and proteins that can permanently etch into your paint, plastic, and glass if left too long. The harder you scrub to remove them, the more likely you are to create scratches and damage protective coatings. Traditional soap and water often fail to remove bugs that have baked onto surfaces in the sun for hours or days. This is where WD-40's solvent properties become incredibly useful. Spray WD-40 generously over the affected areas of your grille, bumper, and any painted surfaces with bug remains. After waiting for a few minutes, take a soft cloth or sponge and gently wipe the surface. The bugs come off with minimal effort and no aggressive scrubbing required. For heavily soiled areas, you might need to repeat the process once more. Always finish by washing the area with soapy water to remove the WD-40 residue and any remaining bug particles. While we're discussing annoying problems, there's one sound that drives car owners absolutely crazy. Hack 8. Lubricating hinges and latches. That embarrassing squeak every time you open your car door isn't just annoying to you and everyone nearby. It's a warning sign. Door hinges, hood latches, and trunk hinges all contain moving metal parts that need lubrication to function properly. When these parts dry out, they create friction that produces noise and accelerates wear. Left untreated, dry hinges can seize completely, making doors difficult or impossible to open smoothly. Replacing seized hinges costs between $200 and $400 per door when you factor in parts and labor. The WD-40 Smart Straw makes this repair incredibly easy because it allows precise application without overspray. For door hinges, open the door and spray directly onto the hinge pins and moving parts while opening and closing the door several times to work the lubricant in. You'll hear the squeak disappear almost immediately. Hood latches require the same treatment. Lift the hood and locate the latch mechanism, then use the Smart Straw to reach into tight spaces and apply a small amount of WD-40 to all moving parts. Work the latch open and closed several times to distribute the lubricant evenly. This same technique works on trunk hinges, gas door hinges, and any other moving mechanical parts on your vehicle's exterior. From mechanical maintenance, let's shift to a quick cosmetic fix that improves both appearance and safety. Hack 7. Headlight Clarity Restorer. Temporary fix. Foggy yellowed headlights are more than just an eyesore. They significantly reduce your visibility at night and make it harder for other drivers to see you. This oxidation happens when UV rays break down the protective coating on plastic headlight lenses, creating a cloudy layer that blocks light output. Professional headlight restoration services typically cost between $75 and $150 per vehicle, while complete headlight replacement can run several $100s depending on your car model. WD-40 offers a temporary solution that can improve clarity quickly when you need better visibility but aren't ready for a full restoration. The solvents in WD-40 break down surface oxidation and grime, temporarily restoring some transparency to the plastic. Here's the honest truth. This is not a permanent fix, but it can buy you weeks or months before you invest in proper restoration. For lasting results, you'll eventually need a proper headlight restoration kit that includes sanding compounds and a new sealant. Visibility matters, but so does staying legal on the road with readable identification. Hack 6. Cleaning rusty plates. License plates take constant abuse from road spray, rain, snow, and salt. Over time, the edges collect thick layers of grime while the mounting screws corrode and rust in place. An obscured or illegible license plate can result in tickets ranging from $50 to $200 depending on your location. And removing rusted screws becomes nearly impossible without the right approach. WD-40 solves both problems efficiently. Start by spraying the rusted mounting screws with WD-40 and waiting several minutes for it to penetrate the corrosion. Wipe away surface rust with a tissue, then unscrew them easily. With the plate removed, fill a container with warm water and dish soap. Dip a towel in the soapy mixture and scrub the entire plate to remove the majority of dirt and road grime. This initial cleaning takes care of surface contamination but doesn't address buildup in detailed areas. Use a Q-tip dipped in the soapy water to reach tight spaces around letters, numbers, and the edges where dirt accumulates in crevices. This detail work prevents future rust formation by removing moisture-trapping debris. After the plate is completely clean and dry, spray WD-40 directly onto both sides and wipe it down with a clean cloth. This final step removes any remaining stains while creating a protective barrier against future corrosion. The plate will look significantly fresher and more legible, and the WD-40 coating helps repel water and road spray going forward. Speaking of appearances, your tires probably need some attention too. Hack 5. Restoring black shine tire sidewalls fade to an ugly gray-brown color after months of UV exposure, dirt accumulation, and general wear. This fading makes even new cars look neglected and old. Expensive tire dressing products promise to restore that deep black shine, but WD-40 delivers similar results at a fraction of the cost. First, rinse your tires thoroughly with water to remove loose dirt and debris. For stubborn brake dust and road grime, use a brush with soapy water and scrub the entire sidewall surface. Let the tires dry completely before proceeding because applying WD-40 to wet surfaces dilutes its effectiveness. Here's where the transformation happens. Spray a light, even coat of WD-40 onto the dry tire sidewalls. Never spray the treads because WD-40 creates a slippery surface that could affect traction. Let the WD-40 sit for a few seconds to absorb into the rubber, then wipe the sidewalls down with a clean cloth to remove excess product and buff the surface. The results are immediate. Your tires will look dramatically darker, shinier, and almost new. This simple maintenance step dramatically improves your vehicle's overall appearance and helps extend tire sidewall life. Your car's appearance is coming together, but what about those stubborn reminders from previous owners? Hack 4. Removing adhesive residue. Old bumper stickers, dealer decals, parking permits, and registration stickers leave behind sticky, stubborn residue that refuses to come off with soap and water. The temptation to scrape with a razor blade or hard plastic tool often results in scratched paint or damaged clear coat, leading to expensive touch-up work that can cost $200 to $600 or more. WD-40's solvent properties break down adhesive bonds without damaging the paint underneath. Spray a generous amount of WD-40 directly onto the sticker or decal you want to remove. Let it sit for 1 to 2 minutes to penetrate and soften the adhesive. Start peeling from one corner, working slowly and gently. If the sticker resists, spray more WD-40 and wait a bit longer rather than forcing it. The adhesive will eventually soften enough that the sticker peels away cleanly. Once the sticker is removed, you'll typically see leftover glue residue on the paint. Spray WD-40 onto a clean cloth and wipe the area in circular motions. The adhesive residue dissolves and wipes away without any harsh scrubbing or scratching. This method is particularly useful when buying a used car covered in stickers from the previous owner, or when you simply want to remove outdated decals without hiring a professional detailer. Hack 3. Lubricating window track. When your power windows start moving slowly, making grinding noises, or struggling to go up and down, the problem is often dirt and debris clogging the tracks rather than a failing motor. Window regulator replacements cost between $200 and $500 per window when you include parts and labor, making this one of those repairs you definitely want to avoid. The window tracks collect dust, dirt, old lubricant, and general grime over time, creating friction that forces the motor to work harder. Eventually, this extra strain can burn out the motor or damage the regulator mechanism. WD-40 provides an easy preventive solution. Spray a small amount of WD-40 directly into the tracks where the window glass slides, focusing on the channels on each side. Let the formula sit for a few minutes to break down accumulated dirt and dried grease. Take a clean cloth and wipe away the loosened grime from the tracks. Roll the window up and down several times to distribute the lubricant evenly throughout the track system. The window should move noticeably smoother and quieter immediately. Smooth windows are great, but there's another rubber component that desperately needs attention. Hack 2. Maintaining rubber seals. The rubber weather stripping around your doors, trunk, and windows does crucial work keeping rain, dust, wind noise, and cold air out of your vehicle. Over time, this rubber dries out, cracks, and loses flexibility, especially in extreme temperatures. Once weather stripping fails, you'll notice water leaks that can damage your interior, whine noise that makes driving unpleasant, and reduced climate control efficiency. Replacing all the weather stripping on a vehicle costs between $300 and $800 depending on the car model, and water damage to carpeting and electronics can add thousands more in repairs. Regular WD-40 maintenance prevents these problems before they start. Spray a light coat of WD-40 along all the rubber seals, making sure to cover the areas around doors, the trunk, and any window seals. Give the product a minute or two to absorb into the rubber, then wipe off any excess with a dry cloth. This treatment restores flexibility to dried rubber, prevents cracking, and keeps the seals from sticking to metal surfaces. Finally, there's one more irritating problem that affects your visibility and drives everyone crazy. Hack 1. Restoring wiper blades. That awful screeching sound when your windshield wipers operate is more than just embarrassing. It indicates that your wiper blades are either contaminated with grime or starting to deteriorate. Streaky wipers reduce visibility in rain, creating dangerous driving conditions. Most people immediately buy new wiper blades at $20 to $60 per set, but WD-40 can often restore performance and extend blade life by several months. The problem usually starts with a buildup of dirt, road grime, and old wax on the rubber edge of the blade. This contamination prevents the rubber from making clean contact with the glass. Lift your wiper blades away from the windshield so you can access them easily. Spray a small amount of WD-40 onto a clean cloth rather than directly on the blades, and wipe along the entire length of the rubber edge to remove accumulated dirt, dust, and residue. The WD-40 dissolves the contamination and conditions the rubber slightly, ensuring it makes proper contact with your windshield for a streak-free, silent wipe. If the noise and streaking continue after this treatment, inspect the blades closely for cracks, tears, or permanent warping. WD-40 can clean and temporarily restore wiper blades, but eventually worn rubber needs replacement for safe driving visibility. These 15 hacks prove that WD-40 is far more than a simple lubricant. It's a comprehensive car care solution hiding in a blue and yellow can. So, which of these money-saving techniques will you try first on your vehicle? Drop a comment below and let us know your results. If you found these tips helpful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more practical car maintenance advice that keeps money in your wallet. Until next time, let's keep your car running smooth.